started for those of you who are watching me. That's what I'm doing when I look like I don't know what's going on, as I'm getting the recording started. And it takes a little bit here. So we started the screen over here, and now we're going to come over to this part of the screen, and there we go. So,
my name is Joel,
oh my
and
goodness,
I
I
am a
forgot to
comedian.
hit mute.
Well, when I'm awake, I'm a comedian.
Alright.
I write down things everywhere.
And it's not muting.
Screenplays, jokes, sketches, pilots,
Alright.
letters to the
So
editor,
now you get
everything.
to see what the problem is.
The only way
live,
that I
is
could
sometimes we
possibly
forget
keep
to
any of this organized is by putting it on my computer.
do
It
things.
organizes
So
my thoughts in a way that is socially
totally
acceptable.
forgot to make this mute.
I am Joel DeVeb, and I am powered by the sublime
And this
ridiculous.
is not my computer, so I'm not familiar with the best way to make it mute. I think that should help. Alright, so thank you for those of you who are tuning in to my show today, Crystal's Corner. And today my show is about chakras. So just talking about what they are for those of you who are not familiar with them, what roles each of them play, and we literally have hundreds of chakras. So the ones that I'm going to talk about today are just the base one, not the base ones, the core ones that we all talk about, or that we all, when you come to most healers, that we work on. We work on for you. And there's hundreds of chakras within you, around you. Most people are familiar with the chakra chart, like the one that I have behind me here. And that is the basic red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And those of you who have a hard time remembering that, the thing that helped me remember is Roy G. Biv, just like remembering the colors of the rainbow. So Roy, red, orange, yellow, G, green, and Biv, blue, indigo, and violet. And of course, red is starting at the bottom, and you work your way up. And that's one of the ways that I use to help me to remember the colors of the chakras. Now, the chakras have lots of different, how do I say, uses, or what you work on, characteristics to work on. And if you think about the chakras, they all spin. Um, So you want them all to ideally be about the same size when they're spinning, and you want them all to ideally be spinning in the same, not at the same speed, because the lower chakras generally go spin slower than the higher chakras, but you definitely want them to be spinning and not stuck, and you don't want them to be dark, you want them to be bright. And for some of you who are not familiar with what I'm talking about, a lot of that is just visualization. Um, Picturing yourself, picturing your chakras spinning, picturing that color spinning. For me, it's easy for me to picture them as, for example, my root chakra. That would be my red chakra. That would be a ruby red color, and I would just picture that as a spiral spinning. Um, and then I move up to the next one, and I picture that spinning as well. And so the next one would be orange, and that would be the sacral chakra, and I would picture that spinning. And if I'm doing that visualization for myself and I'm having a hard time getting one of those spinning, then I know, oh, that perhaps is something that I need to work on. What are the characteristics that chakra helps with? And I would, if I didn't know, like I would look it up. And sometimes I look it up anyway, even though I know, because there might be a something that I forgot. So that's one of the reasons to know about what roles each of the chakras play. Um, let's see what else. So the chakras, The lower chakras. The lower chakras are about the material world, your needs, your wants, your desires, your earthly, earthly cravings, power, control, etc. And the higher chakras are about your spiritual connection, or your spiritual connection, your connection with other people as well. Um, so that's basically how in a nutshell, there's so much more depth to it. This chakras spin clockwise, and most people they think, oh, the chakras are just here right in front of me. They're not. They actually, if you picture a cone, I picture like a megaphone. Those things that the cheerleaders yell into. So you have a megaphone coming out of the front and a megaphone coming out of the back, and that is basically what the chakras look like, in the front or the back. Now, if you wanted to get your chakras worked on, you can, of course, buy a meditation CD. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different ways to work on your chakras. But you could buy a meditation CD, a chakra clearing CD, or you could go to somebody who does chakra clearings. You could work on it yourself with a pendulum. You could do lots of, like I said, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different ways. Um, One of the ways that I just recently used on one of my clients when I did a chakra clearing for her is I just put the stones for each particular chakra on her, and sometimes I put them on the front, sometimes I put them on their back, just depending on what's easiest. And you leave them there for about 15 minutes, and I do other healing as well while that's going on. You can also call in the archangels, which those of you who watched my show a little while last week, I talked about the archangels and their roles. So Archangel Michael is the protector; he's the clearer. Um, Clearing out of energies. And so I call on him, and I also call on Archangel Raphael to bring in any of that healing light to any particular areas that my client needs. So moving on, if we start with the root chakra, the red one, um, that is about. Oh, hi Kelly. That is about finances, career, home, physical safety, your needs. Um, and your possessions. So your root chakra, it's also about um, grounding. Some people aren't very grounded, and if you're really not grounded, then you would probably want to focus on your earth chakra as well. And your earth chakra is below your feet, so that would have to do. So I actually brought in some stones too. So for the earth chakra, for those of you who really aren't grounded and really to be need extra help being grounded, one of the stones. Now, don't get caught up in, oh well, Crystal said it's this particular stone for this. Then I can only use that. There are so many different stones that you can use for each of these um, specifics, each of these chakras. That these happen to be in the store, these happen to be the ones that I grabbed for the show, but you can use a lot of different stones. Sometimes the stones cross over into different chakras as well. So don't be hung up on, oh my goodness, I don't have a smoky quartz. All I have is this hematite. Um, I can't do it. Use what your intuition tells you to, and also just use what you have as far as um, what you feel will work. So for the earth chakra, I have the smoky quartz. And the smoky quartz is all about it's definitely grounding. Um, Now we can look at the different meanings of smoky quartz, but I hope you can see this. This this particular quartz is, we do have this available at the store. It's not my personal one. I tried to grab ones that were available in the store in case people said, oh, I really like that one. But this would be something that if I was working on somebody, I would put beneath their feet, um, to help them with grounding, with like I said before, the earth chakra. So that's different than the root chakra. and it definitely helps with grounding. In addition to smoky quartz, I mentioned hematite earlier. Any of your black stones you can use. So black tourmaline, hematite, obsidian jet, all of those would be good for grounding. And for those of you who aren't sure what grounding means, you ever see a lot of psychics we come across kind of scattered sometimes, and it's because we're so up here in our higher chakras, from our third eye to our crown and to our higher crown, and there's way more chakras up above that, but we're so connected there that we forget to ground because we're always working in this area to connect to the other side. So that covers the earth chakra. The next one would be the base chakra. Um, no, I'm sorry, the root chakra, which I started with, and then I went to the earth. Sorry. So, see what I mean about being grounded? So the root chakra, that's the red chakra. And again, I'm going to repeat myself here: the finances, the career, the the possessions, your physical safety in your home. And a stone that's really good for that is the bloodstone. And I don't know if you can see it very well here, but it's bloodstone. Sometimes bloodstone is green and it has red flecks in it. So that's where they got the name, because it kind of looks like it's bleeding when it's tumbled. Um, the bloodstone itself, it helps to bring in courage, and it's great for energy clearing and clearing the major organs. And it also helps you to recognize the chaos that came before your transformation and to pull the lessons from it. So if you think about that, this is really good for security, and that's why it's good for your root chakra. But if you didn't have a bloodstone, you could use a red jasper or any of your red stones. Um, so this is bloodstone, which is good for your root chakra. Okay. The next chakra is the sacral chakra. And your sacral chakra is right behind your belly button. That's where all your cravings come from. Your cravings, your physical cravings, your food cravings, your thrill seeking, your addictions, anything that really has to do with the body would be the sacral chakra. So if you think about that uh, in the connections, so you have the sacral chakra. And this is red jasper, which I mentioned would be good for bloodstone, but it's also good for the sacral chakra. Any orange stone is good for the sacral chakra. So anything that you would have on hand that is orange would be good for if you're meditating, working to stabilize or get your sacral chakra balanced would be helpful with this. Um, it also, reading the description here, um, it also helps to calm worries or helps with dream recall. So those of you who need that help with dream recall, it this would also help with that. Red jasper is also good for detoxifying the blood or the bile ducts, but I'm transgressing. I need to stay on topic. That's the problem with live shows. You can transgress and nobody's there to tell you to stop, or you can't stop the show and get back on task. All right, so we have the sacral chakra there, and red jasper is the stone that's good for that. And again, sacral chakra is good for uh, cravings, addictions to food, drink, thrill seeking, um, any issues with the body. That is the orange chakra, and it's right where your belly button is. Moving up to the solar plexus. Um, the solar plexus is about power and about control. And I think I'm sorry, guys, I'm nervous. The sacral chakra is, about the orange one, the cravings, etc., etc., etc. So that would be over the for the ladies, it would be over the womb area. The solar plexus is behind the belly button. So I was wrong, and I apologize for giving you misinformation there for a second. Um, The solar plexus is the one behind the navel. And the solar plexus chakra is the yellow one, and it's about power, it's about control, it's about taking taking well, like I said, taking control. But if you think about it, when something happens and somebody tells you some bad news, sometimes you feel like you want to throw up. Sometimes you feel sick to your stomach. And that's from that power, the lack of power, the losing of power, the lack of control. So, if you think about certain things, certain issues, and why you might feel ill, it might have to do with the imbalance of that chakra. So, that being said, something that's good for your solar plexus chakra is the sunstone. And this is a tumbled sunstone. It's a little bit different than some of the sunstones that we have here. Um, that's why I grabbed it, because it's I don't know if you can really see the details in the light with the lighting in here, but this is really pretty. It's good for energizing your chakras and helping to clear it. It helps alleviate stress. And also, those of you who would like some cord cutting done, this is good for cord cutting. Um, so, this is for the solar plexus, the sunstone. Moving on. All right, so we have the sunstone. Um, Next, we move on to the heart, and the heart is green. So if you think of the green spiral, the heart chakra, and of course, it with this, it's just basically common sense. The heart has to do with relationships, love, attachment to people, forgiveness. So the heart, the stone that is good for the heart, that I grabbed because, well, let me rewind. That I happened to grab for the show was malachite. Malachite is very powerful. So if you don't want that rug pulled out from under you feeling, you probably wouldn't want to use malachite. But there are some people that do want that, I need it taken care of, I need it taken care of now. And malachite is very powerful. Um, it works with the heart chakra to help with to bring in unconditional love. Um, that one thing about malachite, and you want to be careful when you handle it raw. You want to wash your hands when you're finished, because it is very has very powerful stuff. And I think I remember reading that it can be detrimental to your health if you don't wash your hands after handling it. It's kind of like handling a reptile and not washing your hands. Um, anyway, malachite, heart chakra. Some people prefer a more gentler approach with their heart chakra, and that's where the rose quartz comes in. A lot of people love the rose quartz. And again, it's whatever you resonate with, whatever you feel the need to work with, whichever stone is calling for you for a particular purpose. So this is more calming. It does release emotional um, wounding, the rose quartz, and it also helps with some self-esteem issues. So that's the rose quartz and the malachite for the heart chakra. The next one, and this isn't always spoken about, but I brought it up because we also have the higher heart. So we have the heart chakra, and then we have the higher heart. Okay, and kunzite is good for that. And you can see the kunzite is not as it looks a lot like the rose quartz, um, except it's more clear. And this is very gentle as well, and it helps release blocks of the heart. Um, and it just helps you to move into a more, I guess, comfortable, receptive state. So that is for the higher heart. Next one is the throat chakra. And for the throat, again, I grabbed two. That's the Libra in me. I can't just make one choice, one decision. Um, of course, I grabbed the first one is amethyst, because this is just such a beautiful piece that we have here. And this is for the throat chakra. And your throat chakra, if you think about it, it's all about speaking your truth, communication, and asking for your needs to be met. And when I was a teacher in the public schools, I would keep amethyst by my windowsill. So that way, actually, I brought a bunch of stones and I kept them in my windowsill as decoration. But amethyst was very important. If you think about it in a classroom, you want open communication, you want clear communication. And for those of you who might have, like, you always have to clear your throat, or you always, or you can't always speak your mind at work, you might have issues with the throat chakra being blocked, or maybe even your solar plexus. So those are things to address or look at when you are thinking about, why do I always get sore throats, or why does my stomach hurt a lot, or maybe ulcers, etc., etc. Those are all a symptom of deeper causes, if you think about it. And so, getting back to amethyst and the throat chakra, you can always carry amethyst with you for speaking your truth. Actually, Lori had a nice video a couple weeks ago about the importance of keeping your throat chakra balanced and what can happen if it is not. So, those of you who did not see it, make sure you take a look at it. So, that's amethyst, and the other stone that I grabbed for the throat chakra is here, and it is turquoise. And again, it doesn't have to be amethyst or turquoise. If you're having a stone that is blue, or is good for matters of communication, certainly use it if that's what your focus is. It's all about your intention. So, turquoise, it provides peace for the spirit and body. It's also good for protection, but it's also very good for communication. So, there's a nice little piece of turquoise that we have here at the store. Um, Moving on to the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra, that color is dark blue. So I happen to just grab a nice piece of fluorite here. This is a beautiful piece. I don't know if you can really see the different colors of this is purple fluorite, and it purple fluorite definitely helps with meditation and the ability to receive psychic information, and it helps you to think through when you feel overwhelmed, stimulates the brain, and helps with memorization. So, a lot of times when I'm meditating and I want to open up my third eye, I will actually take the stone and put it right on my forehead, and or lay down with it and put it right on my forehead, and you can just feel it opening. And I don't want to do that too much when I'm trying to do right brain things, otherwise I will be even more flighty than I am right now. So, let me just right here. Gotta fix that. All right, so this is purple fluorite, and this is about the third eye. And the third eye is about your future, it's about your past, it's about your beliefs about spirits in the other realm and through the veil, etc., etc. So, those of you who don't know what the third eye is, that's what it covers, your connection to the other side. So, and that's dark blue. And then we have the crown chakra. And the crown chakra, I grabbed this beautiful, beautiful piece because this is hard to come by and I love it. It's moldavite. Moldavite is from the story behind moldavite. It's from extraterrestrial origin. It's from I believe they said it was a meteorite that landed in Czechoslovakia. And I don't know the year. Sorry, I'm bad with numbers and years. But it helps with higher self communication and communication with extraterrestrials. But it also opens to your spiritual energy. So if you think of that and moldavite with your your crown, which that color is royal purple, and it has to do with spirituality, divine guidance, religion, even, and just keeping that open and keeping your connection strong. And I don't know if you can see this. I'll kind of put it closer, but it's when the light's shining on it, it's a nice green color when the light shines through it. Um, it's a really pretty stone, but it's hard to come by. I actually made some moldavite mists, spray mists, to help you with your, to help you with your higher self communication. It does tend to space you out a little bit when you're holding it, so I'm going to put it down. Um, it's pretty cool stuff. And moving on to your higher crown. So your higher crown is is clear, and one of it's about even more connection, more spiritual connection. Those of us who work in with our intuition a lot, it's important to have your higher crown clear at all times. You want that connection clear. You want fiber optics running through there is the way I see it. And one of the stones that's really good for doing that is celestite. And I don't know if you can really see the beauty of this piece, but celestite is good for your definitely your communication with the angelic realms. And one of the things that I would do with this, if I was working on balancing my clients' chakras, is I would put it above their head on the healing table. And so, ideally, if you were getting a chakra clearing with me, you would have all of these stones laying on your chakras on your body or around your body. And sometimes I have people hold stones in their hands as well, and we do some chakra clearing. It's a lot of fun. Um, and you always feel a lot, I find that I always feel a lot clearer afterwards. More in balance, more in tune. And let's see, does anybody have any questions? If you do, feel free to ask or type them in. Those of you who are not familiar with the mystical moon, because you're watching this on YouTube or Ustream and watching it live, I am at the Mystical Moon. My name is Crystal Childs, and I'm at the Mystical Moon Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. I do palm readings, I do playing card readings. I can also tune into any questions that you have. We are available here from 11 to 6. I can do a phone reading or I can do a Skype reading. So you can go to themysticalmoon.com. We are also located at 16301 South Tamiami Trail in Fort Myers, Florida. And the phone number here is 239 939 3339. And if those, you can always go to our store to order anything that you see in the show that I always have. It's always available for sale, or we can get it for you for sure. And if you ever want like I said, a phone reading or a Skype reading, just give us a call. You can also set it up online through our website. So we try to be available for any times for our clients. Within business hours, if there's times when there's a different time zone and it's easier for you to make it after hours, just give us a call. We'll see what we can accommodate for you. So that being said, there doesn't appear to be any questions today, so thank you for joining me. And again, I'm Crystal Childs, and thank you for watching Crystal's Corner. You take care. Okay, let's see here. Now I have to log out. Where did that window go? This isn't my computer. I don't know where it is.
called for help. What did you click on?